Generic number 1. Life is precisely valuable in the smallest of moments. そちらにこそ命あり. Generic number 2. Secret arts taken to the next extreme. 極意さらに清まれり. Generic number 3. A battlefield is already an entry to the underworld. 戦の場すでに読み. Generic number 4. This is Mesatsu. これぞMesatsu. Generic number 5. Succumb to true darkness. 忠告の闇に触れよ. Generic number 6. The weak plague my senses. 脆弱不快なり. Generic number 7. My power has transcended that of mere mortal men. 我が力すでに人外. Versus Akuma. Wretched imitation. まがいものめが. Versus Alex. Welcome to hell. ここが地獄ぞ. Versus Chun-Li. The Satsui no Hado is unrivaled. Satsui no Hado 無敵なり. Versus Dudley. With the smallest of difficulty. 赤子はねじるがごとし. Versus Elena. I will dispose of your limbs. 獅子粉砕せしめん. Versus Hugo. Be devoured by a true demon. 鬼に食われよ. Versus Ibuki. My dwelling is within the darkness, the blackest of them all. 我が住処は闇。真の漆黒なり。漆黒なり. Versus Ken. Death is certain. Nothing can avert it. 万死の起きて阻むものなし. Versus Makoto. Have you feeling being consumed within a Rakshasa's feast? 羅刹の宴とくと味わえ. Versus Necro. There's no sense of protecting another if they don't strike. 攻める者が守る道理なし. Versus Oro. Agony carved out onto your body. 苦言その身に刻め. Versus Q. Begone and expose your corpse to the elements. 屍風雪にさらせ. Versus Remy. A cowardly anger will never be a worthy opponent for my fist. ふねけた怒りなど我が拳の敵にあらず. Versus Ryu. Do you still resist opening your mind's eye? うの心眼未だ明かすか. Versus Sean. You are a fool for not preparing to die. You are not worthy of being my foe. 収穫後せぬうつくめ我が敵にあたわじ. Versus 12. A puppet has no chance of victory. くぐつに勝利なし. Versus Urien. Be bathed in a rain of blood. 血の雨にまみれよ. Versus Yang. May divine punishment decay you to your core. ぶちばつに口よ. Versus Yun. There is no value to be found in a killing duel against you. 試合覚悟なし. Generic number 1. Geez, are you the gutsy type or someone who doesn't know when to pack it up? まったく根性があるのか諦めが悪いのか Generic number 2. You up for another round? For real? No can do, you're starting to rub off some strange habits onto me. もう一度やるだとダメだ変な癖がついちまう Generic number 3. It doesn't matter how many of those fake attacks you throw at me, none of them will get the job done. 威力のない技など何発食らっても効かない Generic number 4. Don't think too deep into it. It's not as if I'm doing anything precise. 深読みするな。小細工できるほど俺は器用じゃない。Generic number 5. I can't tango with you anymore. I'd have to train myself even more if I did. これ以上は付き合いきれない。もっと鍛え直してくるんだな。Generic number 6. You're strong, that's for sure. You're worth beating. 強いなあんた。豚しがいがあったぜ。Generic number 7. If it's training we're talking about here, I'm training till I drop every day. トレーニングなら毎日飽きるほどやってるさ。Versus Akuma. I'm ready to put my life on the line wherever and whenever. 命の一つくらいいつでもかけてやる。Versus Alex, I'm always serious regardless of who my opponent is. 俺はいつでも真剣だ。誰が相手でも容赦はしない。Versus Chun-Li. I have to say that you're hella strong. I was surprised myself to be honest. いや、大した強さだ。正直今も驚いてる。Versus Dudley. A clean fight's all well and good, but there's not much of a point to it if you lose. Clean fight も結構だが、勝たなきゃ意味がない。Versus Elena. Yeah, I had fun, especially with how I felt great after winning. ああ、楽しんでるさ。気持ちよく勝てたしな。Versus Hugo. I ain't that much of a goofball to just take all of those massive blows. その大技を何度も食らうほどノラマじゃない。Versus Ibuki. Things must be really bad if a girl like this is out training to be a spy. 不況も本格的だな。こんな娘がスパイ候補とは。Versus Ken. Up for another match? My muscles have finally gotten around to loosening up. リターンマッチといくか。やっと筋肉がほぐれてきたところだ。Versus Makoto. So you're the type who rushes in head first, huh? Now that's someone who's pretty easy to deal with. 勝負速、突進系か。割と扱いやすいタイプだ。Versus Q. I have no clue who you are, but how about you show me that mug of yours? どこの誰だか知らんが、顔ぐらい見せたらどうだ？Versus Necro. Both freedom and victory are things you earn with your own two hands. 自由も勝利も自分で勝ち取るんだな。Versus Oro. I can't afford to get careless with you, otherwise I'm in trouble. That's why I didn't hold back against you. 油断してると痛い目見るんでね。遠慮なくやらせてもらった。 versus Remy. At the end of the day, the only thing to learn from a street fight is who's strong and who's weak. 結局ストリートファイトで分かるのは強いか弱いかだけだ。versus Ryu. What is it that you're looking at past the fight and victory? あんたは何を見てるんだ？戦いの勝利の先に。versus Sean. What happened to all of that vigor you had at the start? I guess you already lost the will to act tough. 最初の勢いはどうした？もう強がる気もなくしたか？ versus 12. Are there even more of you guys out there in the world? あんたらみたいなのが他にたくさんいるってのか？ versus Urien. You're that weak and you think of yourself as an emperor? Talk about being delusional. それはそれで手置き取りか。おめでたいやつだ。versus Yang. Logic doesn't show strength. The reason why people lose is because they're weak. 理屈じゃ強さは語れない。負ける理由も一つ弱いからだ。versus Yun. It's as clear as day what your eyes are gunning for. Your cap's visor ain't doing much to help here. 目線で狙いが見え見えだ。帽子のすばも役立たずだな。Generic number 1. Using brute force alone will never defeat me. ただ押し出すだけのパワーじゃ私には永遠に勝たないわ。Generic number 2. Will you go for another round? I also wasn't satisfied with that one. もう一度やる？私もまだ納得いかないのよ。Generic number 3. It's futile to even think of countless attacks working on me if their quality is unpolished. キレのない技で何度攻めてきても無駄よ。Generic number 4. My heart is fluttering away. This won't be much of a fight in that case. 心が逃げているわ。それじゃ勝負にならないんだね。Generic number 5. A technique learnt once before can never simply be forgotten. 一度身につけた技って簡単には忘れられないものなの。Generic number 6. I go out of my way to make sure that I never fail to practice my chi training each and every single day. 気を練る鍛錬だけは毎日欠けしてないの。Generic number 7. That was enjoyable. It's been some time since I felt this level of tension. 楽しかったわ。こんな緊張感、久しぶりよ。versus Akuma. Retirement doesn't seem to be in your list of plans for the foreseeable future, I suppose. そろそろ引退ってわけにはいかないんでしょうね。versus Alex. It's by accumulating more fights under your belt that you will soon come to understand the feelings of fist talking. 戦いを重ねていけばわかるわ。拳が語るという感覚が。versus Chun-Li. While on a stage against an opponent, I cannot afford to take my eyes off them. 一旦舞台に立ったら敵から目を背けちゃダメ。Versus Dudley. I thought all boxers were thugs. I'm sorry for thinking so. ボクサーってみんな乱暴者だと思ってたわ。ごめんなさい。Versus Elena. For your situation, I believe it would do you well to have more of a desire to win. あなたの場合、もう少し勝利への欲があった方がいいわ。Versus Hugo. Phew. I wonder just how big us humans can get. 人間ってどこまで大きくなれるのかしら。Versus Ibuki. Your moves were too light. Your speed alone doesn't cover for this fault. 技が軽すぎるわ。いくらスピードがあっても無駄よ。Versus Ken. Weren't you supposed to be a dad who's the world's strongest? You have to try a bit harder to realize it, okay? パパは世界一じゃなかったの？もう少し頑張らないとね。Versus Makoto. Is this the extent of your ability? You wouldn't be reliable as an instructor if so. それが限界？師範にしちゃ頼りないわね。Versus Necro. When it comes to the opponent with your reach, I've had my fair share of fighting against one countless times. その程度のリーチの相手なら、すでに何度も対戦してみよ。Versus Oro. To become stronger? No. I fight to retrieve someone precious to me. 強くなるため？いいえ。大事なものを取り返すために戦うの。Q. Do not judge your foe by their appearance. That's the strict principle to fighting I adhere to. 外見で判断してはいけない。戦いの鉄則ね。Versus Remy. To the USC before me, you're simply confusing yourself as it stands. 今のあなたはただ自分の心をごまかしてるだけよ。Versus Ryu. You've done well to continue this long without growing bored. Well, I suppose the same goes for me too. 飽きずによく付き合われるわね。まあ、お互い様だけど。Versus Sean. This isn't exactly a phrase I'd like to say, but your growth paired with the time spent training is abnormal. あんまり言いたくないセリフだけど、年季が違うのよ。君とは。Versus 12. I wonder, for whatever reason, I don't feel that surprised when looking at you. なぜかしら、あなたを見てもそんなに驚かないわ。Versus Urien. Evil will surely be destroyed. That's what I've come to believe throughout my life. 悪は必ず滅びる。そう信じて生きてたもの。Versus Yang. Thinking while moving will inevitably create momentary instances of delay. 考えながら動いてちゃ一瞬ずつ遅れていくわよ。Versus Yun. Thinking only of attacking would assuredly ensure that your footing is easily disturbed. 攻めることしか考えないから足元がおろそかになるのよ。 Generic number 1. Evaluating your movements in terms of aerodynamics. A severe amount of your movements are needlessly expending energy. 空力学的見地から言っても、君の動きには無駄が多すぎる。Generic number 2. Increasing the amounts of fierceness ever so infuses of boxing with more graceful movements. 激しさを増やすほどにボクシーの動きは優雅になる。Generic number 3. A dignified championship title, shining in brilliance, is a special possession indeed. 華やかに、それでいて、重々しいチャンピオンタイトルとは特別なもの。Generic number 4. I won't say it was to the extent of a pebble on the side of a gutter, but you weren't able to deliver to the standards I was hoping for. 老婆の意思とは言わないが、私の目にかなう実力とは思えん。Generic number 5. I rather enjoyed your work. Let me treat you to a pint. 気に入ったよ。いっぱいおごらせてくれたまえ。Generic number 6. I say this in the most extreme sense. You have a 0% chance of winning against me as matters currently stand. 極論のよう、このままでは君の勝機は 0% だ。Generic number 7. Acknowledge the fact that you are still too much of a rookie. 認めてまえ、君はまだまだルーキーだ。Versus Akuma, those gleams in your eyes, it's as if you were God incarnate. その頑固、まさにゴッド。Versus Alex, superb working resilience, although I will not give you an inch to make a counter-attack against me. 打たれ強さは見事だ。だが、反撃の月は大変よ。Versus Chun-Li, Chinese martial arts. It was surely a mesmerizing experience to awe at its elegance. Chinese martial arts. さすがにルーレ楽したよ。のしたよ。Versus Dudley, precision with a generous dollop of boldness. This is the very essence of boxing. 聖地かつ大胆。これぞボクサーの真髄。草の真。Versus Elena. Both leg and arm strength are equally as important in boxing. 脚力と腕力。ボクシングではどちらも重要だ。Versus Hugo. This goes to show the difference in being a pro and amateur in boxing and wrestling, respectively. ボクシングとレスリングではない。プロとアマの差だ。Versus Ibuki, seeing as you can aim at my vitals with such subtlety, you ninjas surely do give me a run for my money. 急所なら的確さならば、忍者にも引けは取れない。Versus Ken, the USA title holder also lost face within my presence. 全米一のタイトルホルダーも私の前では形なしだな。Okay, looking at this again now, I actually believe he's talking about Ken himself now, so yeah. Versus Makoto, you have a good sense about you. I know for certain that it will shine marvelously if you work on it even more. 君はいいセンス持ってる。磨けば光る。私にはわかる。Versus Necro, I pray that you're able to obtain true freedom. 本当のフリーダム、手にできることを祈ってるよ。Versus Oro, was this not supposed to be a sparring match? There's something to be left aside from this bout. これは練習試合ですかな。少々物足りなく思いましたが。 Versus Q. If you have the courage to name yourself, then you don't have the privilege to stand in the ring. 名を貸す勇気もないのなら、戦場に立つべきではない。Versus Remy. An anger devoid of pride will never amount to any dormant strength. 誇りなき怒りには、決して力はよどらないものだ。Versus Ryu. You have my gratitude for allowing us to meet during this fight. 戦いを通じて君に出会えたことを感謝したい。Versus Sean. You have a good coach it seems, although I would like to highlight the importance of having originality to you. いいコーチについてるな。だが、オリジナリティも大切だ。Versus 12, and here I am once more, painfully made aware of how grand in scope our world is. またしても世界の広さを痛感したよ。Versus Urien. Before taking to use in the world for your own ends, you'd be better suited to first learning of proper courtesy in a fight. 世界を望むより先に、勝負に対する礼節を学びたい前。Versus Yang. It's by thinking of what you should learn upon defeat that will be a test of your character. 敗北から何を学ぶかで、君の資質が問われる。Versus Yun. Unfortunately for you, I've seen all there is to Chinese Kenpo. 残念ながら、中国拳法もそこが知れてしまった。Generic number 1. Let's dance some more. もっと踊りましょう。Generic number 2. You can't go against the rhythm of the earth. 大地のリズムに逆らっちゃいけないわ。Generic number 3. I've been able to make lots of friends with people, so that's why I love traveling around the world. たくさんの人とお友達になれるから、世界を回るのは大好き。Generic number 4. That was my best dance just now. 今のが私の一番のダンスよ。Generic number 5. A bit more of a relaxed tempo would suit you better. あと、ほんの少しゆっくりのテンポがあなたには似合ってるわ。Generic number 6. Hey, don't you feel the wind? ねえ、風を感じない？ Generic number 7. Your body's stiff. Why don't I help you stretch it out? 体が硬いよ。ストレッチしてあげよっか。Versus Akuma. You make such ferocious movements, yet I don't hear any sound coming from them. こんなに激しい動きなのに音が聞こえないなんて。Versus Alex. That mane-like blonde hair of yours, I like it a lot. 金のたてがみみたいなその髪、私気に入ってるのよ。Versus Chun-Li. I can't allow myself to be taken aback after seeing a super fast tempo. 気が抜けないわ。すごくテンポが速いんだもの。Versus Dudley. I know, a splendid beard like that must be the proof of a gentleman, right? 知ってるわ。その立派なヒゲが紳士の証なんでしょ。Versus Elena. It seems like I danced more this time around. 私の方がたくさんのどれたみたい。versus Hugo. You're actually a really nice person deep down, aren't you? あなたって本当はとっても優しい人よね。versus Ibuki. Let's both do our best for studying, okay? お勉強お互いに頑張りましょうね。versus Ken. You have to treasure your family, okay? 家庭を大事にしなきゃね。versus Makoto. I'm so happy that I can make even more Japanese friends. 日本のお友達が増えてとっても嬉しい。versus Necro. There's nobody as tall as you are back home. あなたみたいな長い人、私の国境にもいないわ。versus Oro. Good work out there. Please fight again with me sometime. お疲れ様。また戦ってくださいね。versus Q. Let's bathe in the sunlight more. 太陽の光をもっと浴びましょう。versus Remy. If you breathe in some of the fresh morning air, you'll forget all about the bad things. 朝の自然な空気を吸えば嫌なことも忘れるわ。versus Ryu. I heard your voice from afar. It's mysterious, isn't it? あなたの声が遠くで聞こえたの？不思議ね。versus Sean. You had a simple enough rhythm, so I learned it quick enough. 簡単なリズムだからすぐ覚えちゃったわ。versus 12. Say, where do you live? Do you have any family? ねえ、あなたどこに住んでるの？家族はいるの？ versus Urien. It's even more wonderful for us to understand one another than winning. 勝つことよりも分かり合えることが素敵なの。versus Yang. Wouldn't it be boring to fight exactly as you plan to? 計算通りに戦うのってつまらなくない？ versus Yoon. Not enough kung fu? I wonder where I can get more of this kung fu you speak of. カンフーが足りない？それどこでもらえるのかしら？ Number 1. The world is crying out in agony, and that is why I must do something to rectify this issue at hand. 世界は泣いている。だから私は何とかしてやりたいと思ってるんだ。Lyric number 2. The gloom of being an almighty being. It would bring comfort if you understood the gravity of my situation. 全能の憂鬱。少しでも理解してもらえたら嬉しい。Lyric number 3. The clear skies bring upon a pure sensation. Do you not feel what I speak of? 澄み切った空には純粋な感動がある。君は今それを感じないか？ Lyric number 4. A mere 200 years. Be that as it may, it's more than enough time for planets to decay. たかが200年といえど、星一つ腐りには十分すぎる時間だ。Lyric number 5. It is because of my sympathetic heart that I'm at times strict with others. いたわる心がある頃こそ、私は特に厳しくなれる。Lyric number 6. My plans are progressing smoothly and will proceed to completion unless you and the others get in over your heads. 計画は順調だ。君たちが余計な世話を焼かなければね。Lyric number 7. How did it come to be that the stars above permeate in its beauty? It's because their supreme existence that will never be in the hands of man. 星々はなぜ美しいのか。永遠に戦う至高の存在だからだ。 Versus Akuma. It seems to be the case that only your strength is a tad bit higher than my own. 力だけは私と対等以上のようだな。Alex. It's fine for you to train even more, although I will say that it equates to nothing more than a fruitless endeavor. もっと修行を積んでくるがいい。永遠に報われぬ努力だとは思うが。Chun-Li, while our time together was brief, I took great enjoyment in it. 短い間だったが、存分に楽しませてもらった。Dudley, was this bout conducted to such a manner that it suited your knightly view of a shameless rule? 非道に恥じぬ戦いだったかね。Versus Elena, the voice you have been hearing until now. It's from God. 今君が聞いてる声、それが神託だ。Versus Hugo, let us put an end to the theatrics here. Now leave. 状況はこれまでにしておこうか。され。Versus Ibuki, there are 20,000 more books left in relation to that file. Do you wish to continue reading it? あのファイルはあと2万冊はある。続きを読むかね。Versus Ken, it would do me some good to experience something like despair for once in my life. 一度で良いから絶望とやらを味わってみたいものだ。Mrs. Makoto, this is an unsuitable place for one such as yourself. Get up and make your leave at once. ここは君にはそぐわぬ場所だ。立ち去れたまえ。Will you not hurry in taking your leave from here? Your existence itself is an inconvenience. そろそろ消えてくれないか。お前の存在、何かと不都合なのだ。Oh, if you retreated from your path of penance and chose to follow me, contentment would be sure to follow. そんな釘を済ますとも、私に従えば幸福を授けるぞ。Versus Q, even I, in my almighty splendor, am at a loss. Who are you? 全の私にも分かるぬとは何者だ、君は。Versus Remy, won't you abandon these dull emotions and let us venture forth to speak on the future that awaits us? つまらない感情は捨てて、共に未来を語ろうではないか。Ryu, how pure. One interpretation of this is that your character is more wicked than that of a villain. 純粋だな、ある意味。悪人よりも立ちが悪い。Versus Sean, for my dull life to not even have the faintest trace of color in it. 私の退屈な日常にわずかな色も添えられぬとは。Versus 12, the creation of an organism that imitates humans yet never becomes one itself. This is another fault of humanity. 人に似せた人ならぬものを作る。それこそが人の過ちなのだ。Versus Urien, this conclusion was also an absolute found in the manifest. この結末もまた計画書に記されし定めなのだ。Versus Yang, the both of you will be obedient and gaze upon the miracle that is to come. 君たちはただおとなしく、奇跡を眺めていれば良いのだよ。Versus Yun, the scope visible to the both of you is not able to grasp the world at large. 君たちの視野では、到底世界など目に入らない。Number 1, I look forward to the moment when everyone around the world will have their eyes on me. 楽しみだ。もうすぐ世界中が俺に注目する。Number 2, try having some armor next time. I'll smash that along with you from above. 今度から鎧でも着な。上から押しつぶしてやるがな。Generic number 3, this strength, this height, it's exactly like a Vulcan cratzer. この強さ、この高さ、まさにウォルケンクラッツァー、マテンロ。Generic number 4. My body is that of Eisen. It will never be broken. 俺の体は Eisen. 絶対に壊れやしねえんだ。Generic number 5. Why don't you soon get to giving me your all? Don't tell me that was it just now. そろそろ本気ってのを見せろ。まさか今のがそうか。Generic number 6. With this Gevit, there's no fathomable way for me to lose. このガベヘッド、負けるわけがねえ。Generic number 7. Oh, you're finished? Huh. So you've chosen to end yourself. お、終わったか。なんだ、結局。自滅かよ。Versus Akuma. Are you angry? Don't just stay silent. Say something. 怒ってんのか。黙ってねえで何か言え。Versus Alex. It's not as if babyfaces win all the time. Translator's note. Okay, I'm going to be very brief with this one. I don't think I have enough time. So basically, babyfaces are characters in wrestling who are the good guys. For example, Hulkamania Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage for most of his career, for you old school guys out there. A jobber is basically someone who loses all the time in professional wrestling, and a heel is essentially a bad guy. And Nihongo time. いつも babyface が勝つわけじゃないんだ. Okay, I did it. Versus Chun-Li. That didn't hurt one bit. It felt like a Frühlingsluft, spring breeze. ちっとも痛かねえな。まるで Frühlingsluft と春風だ. No, Chun-Li's name partly means spring. Versus Dudley. The only true champion of the world is me. 本物のチャンピオン王者は俺だけだ. Versus Elena. Don't you dare go complaining about my rhythmus. 俺のリズムスにケチつけるんじゃねえ。Versus Hugo. That groan. It's the best vegan lead. そのうめき声。最高の vegan lead だ。Versus Ibuki. I'll crush a midget like you to pieces. お前みたいな小さいやつは粉々に砕いてやる。Versus Ken. My finishing move is 100 times more amazing than yours. 俺の決め技の方が100倍すごいだろうが。Versus Makoto. You got my hopes up for nothing. A mere finger, let alone a hand, is enough to handle you. 期待させやがって。片手どころか一本指で十分だな。Versus Necro. You're a good electric massager. All of my fatigue has been whisked away. いい電気マッサージだ。疲れが取れたぜ。Versus Oro. I never hold back on my hits, even on an old man. 徹底的に叩く。相手がじいさんでもな。Versus Q. You must be friggin' boiling and all of that. 暑苦しいんだよ、てめえ。Versus Remy. Your spine looks weak. Someone like that couldn't hope to be my tag partner. お前、背骨弱そうだな。俺のパートナーにはなれねえ。Versus Ryu. Hey, teach me that Shoryu thingy as well. おい、俺にはその昇竜拳とかを教えろ。Versus Sean. This isn't some game. It's a duel. スピールじゃねえ。デュエルだ。Versus 12. Did I squash you? Oh, how the tables have turned from when you were squishing me. 潰しちまったか。もともと潰れてたけどな。Versus Urien. Crushed to death. That's my sense of aesthetic shit. 圧殺、それが俺のエステティック、美学だ。Appreciate the help, Dr. Number 6. versus Yang. My knohen are 30 times harder than yours. このknohen, お前の30倍は硬い。versus Yun. These muscle of mine, they're 30 times stronger than yours. この筋肉、お前の30倍は強い。Generic number 1. This isn't just some game. My grades for getting into uni are riding on this. これ遊びじゃないんだよ。大学進学がかかってんだから。Number 2. Just so you know, I do have fancier clothes than these. 私だってね、もっとおしゃれな服持ってんだよ。Generic number 3. Well, clearing this up lickety split like everything else is good with me. とまあ、いつもこれくらいパパッと片付けばいいんだけど。Generic number 4. Moving around a place like that can only be seen as an invitation for me to make a move. そこでそう動かれちゃ、こっちとしても直しかないよね。Generic number 5. Can't you fight more effectively than that? もっと効率よくやられてくんない？ Generic number 6. Well, you wouldn't be able to survive in my village if that's the best you got. まあ、その腕じゃうちの里で生き残れないと思う。Generic number 7. Actual fights like these are only a part of my graduation exam. It's sure hard being a ninja. G 戦が卒業試験の一部だなんて、忍びも疲れるよ、ほんと。This is Akuma. The scary face found only in legends. I can just imagine seeing it in a nightmare now. 伝説通りの怖い顔、夢に見そう。Versus Alex. So this is the result of your endless training. You must want to cry so bad right now, don't you? 期待に期待だ結果がこれじゃ。泣くに泣くないって感じ。Versus Chun-Li. Overpowering women should be kept at arm's length, so you should both keep that in mind. 強すぎる女は敬遠されるから、お互い気をつけましょう。Versus Dudley. Your words were pleasant, but your fighting style was rough. 言葉遣いは丁寧だけど、やることは荒っぽいもんな。Versus Elena. I'm not so good with the heat. See, this ninja suit is why. あたし暑いのくてなの。ほら、この格好だしさ。Versus Hugo. What do you plan to do by inviting me? Could it be that you want to be your ring girl? あたし誘ってどうするつもり？まさかラウンドがあるとか？ Ibuki. If you're going to transform into me, then at least do it properly. 化けるならもっとうまくやってよ。Versus Ken, the currently flaring flames of regret. So, was I right on the mark? 今燃え上がる悔しさの方のどう？図星でしょ？ Versus Makoto, listen to a ninja in training goes to show Rindokan is just your run-of-the-mill school. 見習い忍者に負けるようじゃ。林道感ってのも並程度だね。Versus Necro. I'm B. The differences in our reaches were so far apart. 疲れた。全然リーチが違うんだもん。Versus Oro. A hermit. I'll pass on that. I mean, it sounds boring, you know. 千人。私はパス。だって退屈そうだもん。Versus Q. Doesn't wearing something like that make you get seen as a criminal at times? そういう格好をしてるとたまに犯罪者扱いされない？ Versus Remy. Your face is one thing, but your personality is definitely a no-go. What a waste. 顔はともかく性格はダメね。もったいない。 Versus Ryu, you're going to go straight back into training mode again tomorrow after this? Good luck with that. この分じゃまた明日から休業モード頑張ってね。When you were talking about growing, was it perhaps in relation to your parents alone? 成長したのってもしかして見た目だけ This is 12. Ah, you know, you're kinda cute. Maybe. ちょっと君可愛いかも This is Urien. OMG. You're getting a complete 0 from me in the fashion department. あっちゃ、その格好減点100 Versus Yang, did you really delude yourself into believing that you're the fastest until now? 今まで自分が一番素早いなんて思い込んでたんじゃない Versus Yun, Hong Kong sounds like a good place. It must be so free over there. Hong Kong, いいよね。なんたって自由だもんね。Lyric number 1. Come on now, where's your enthusiasm at? It ain't gonna be fun fighting otherwise. おいおい、熱いじゃないか。そう来なくちゃ面白くない。Lyric number 2. My bad for ending the fight quickly there. あっさり片付けちまって悪いことしたな。Lyric number 3. Even from the time of my youth, my sharpness is yet to dull. 切れ味の鋭さは若い頃から鈍っちゃいないぜ。Lyric number 4. Are you okay with me keeping the spotlight all to myself? 俺にばかり見せ場をくれて、あんたそれでいいのかい Lyric number 5. Did you see that, Mel? These fists of your dad are the world's strongest. 見てるか、メル。これが世界最強のパパの拳だ。Lyric number 6. My title is the coolest is the one thing I'm not keen on giving up. かっこよさだけは世界一の座を譲る気はないね。Lyric number 7. Get on with it, will ya? You've been making me zone out. ビシッとしろ、ビシッと。こっちまで至ってくるぜ。Versus Akuma, hey, you're not supposed to be the type who'd get down by attacks like these. おい、これぐらいでぶたれる球じゃないだろうが。Versus Alex, you've got spunk, bro. This goes to show how vast America is. 生きのいいアンちゃんだ。アメリカもまだまだ広いな。Versus Chun-Li, the arm I blocked with is stinging to high heaven. Those legs are also indeed the world's finest. ガードした腕がビリビリするぜ。さすがに世界一のキックだな。Versus Dudley, wouldn't you find it more sensational if men had at least some edge to them? 男は少々乱雑な方が受けがいいんだぜ。Versus Elena, if I knew this wasn't going to be a fight, I would have handed you some gentle care. これが勝負じゃなきゃ、もうちょっと優しく扱うんだけどな。Versus Hugo, if you're gonna call yourself the strongest, you should have done that once you beat me. 最強なのなら、この俺をダウンさせてからにしな。This is Ibuki. I should have expected no less from a girl who makes it a habit to keep her feet away from the ground. 相変わらず地に足のつかない嬢ちゃんだ。Ken, now that was a high-class match for the masses, right? ギャラリーアピール度の高い試合だったよな。Versus Makoto, looking at a spunky kid like you sure does make me feel nostalgic. 君みたいな元気な子を見ると昔思い出すよ。Versus Q, don't go get me involved in anything troublesome. 面倒のことには巻き込まないでくれよ。 versus Necro. Your legs are long, aren't they? It's obvious enough that they're longer than mine. あんたの足長いね。俺より長いってのは相当だぜ。versus Oro. Are you that interested in Ryu? He's also a handful, I'll tell ya. そんなに Ryu がお気に入りかい。あいつも災難だな。versus Remy. I have no idea what's eating you up inside, but just be more positive. 何が気に入れないんだか。明るくやろうぜ、あんた。versus Ryu. This makes me in the lead with wins, right? I honestly can't remember my total losses at this point, though. これで勝ち越しだよな。負けた回数は覚えちゃいないけどな。versus Sean. So, did you learn anything from this? Take what you saw and own it. どうだ、参考になったか。自分の目で盗めよ。versus 12. Any locking techniques I have in mind aren't going to be especially effective against you, huh? 関節技はあまり効きそうにないな。versus Urien. It's one thing to be prideful, but it's another to show for the time, you know. いくら自慢だからって見せびからすのは嫌味だぜ。Yang, you got a bit better just now. I suppose you passed first lesson. 少しはマシになってきてるな。レッスン1はクレアってことか。versus Yun. I like your raw style. I find that the easiest way for me to be too. 荒っぽいのは好きだぜ。こっちもやりやすいってもんだ。Hey guys, I'm going to make a quick note for the Japanese audience if anyone's watching on that side. So if I speak random Japanese, I'm not talking to myself. So yeah. もしこんにちは。誠さんのことに対しては、確かに、なんていうか、土佐弁なので、私はなんかペラペラに話せないけど、なんとなく頑張りますね。じゃあ、行きます。Generic number 1. You.We're really strong. 御社、ゲニ誠強いの。Generic number 2. Sorry, but I don't plan on losing to you. 俺いけんど御社にはどうしたち負ける気がせん。Generic number 3. Look, father, I'll turn our dojo into Japan's finest. 見通せ、音。うちらの道場、日本一にしてみせる。Generic number 4. What? Did you hold back because you saw me as a kid? なんや、子供と思って手抜いたんか。Number 5. Have you even trained before? I didn't feel anything from you if that were true. 期待しとるがよ。その割には手応えないちや。Generic number 6. Come at me however many times you want. I'll work through everything you've got and send it right back at you. なんぼでもきや。全部見切って倍返しじゃ。Generic number 7. Bring whatever you've got and I'm sending it right back. I've still got a lot of spunk to give. 取られたら取り返してみ。うちはまだビンビンしゆうぞ。Akuma, you're super strong-headed, mister. ゲニ、したたかね。On-chan. Versus Alex, I didn't feel a thing. You best train up some more for next time. ビリッと戦の本筋までにきちっと鍛えちょきや。Versus Chun-Li, I'll be starting my special training now, so let's continue from where we left off tomorrow. これから特訓焼き。続きは明日にしようや。versus Dudley, having good manners is enough for when you're married. おぎおぎえんは読み入れん時だけで十分じゃ。versus Elena, if it's friends you want, then you should fix your bad feet manners first. 友達欲しいんやったら足癖の悪さ直しや。This is Hugo. You're so persistent. I'm telling you I won't team up with ya. くんどいの仲間にゃん言いよろうが。 versus Ibuki. You ninjas look a whole lot more like acrobats to me after what I saw. そんなもん忍者のやのって曲芸師やが。Versus Ken. If you go around acting that carefree, your footing is going to be easily taken. 余裕かましい中と足元バッサリ救われるぜよ。This is Makoto. This is the real strength of a Rindokan master. これが本間もんのRindokan師範の腕前じゃ。Versus Necro. Did you eat something bad or what? なんや悪いもんでも食うたんか。Versus Oro. You may actually be stronger than my gramps. うちのじいちゃんより強いかもしれん。Versus Q. Don't you feel hot wearing all of that? そんなもん着込んで熱ないんか。Versus Remy. I'm not into guys who are flashy with their sense of fashion. チャラチャラ個別中は好みやないき。Versus Ryu. Wow, your kawaii is being used in a good style. あんたの道着も感じに使い込んどるの。Versus Sean. Your blood's boiling. Looks more to me that you're burning to ashes. 熱血燃えかす中感じやんや。Versus 12. I had to put it down. I wonder if I just beat a rare animal. 倒したらいいけん。珍しい動物やったんかな。Versus Urien. You didn't come to the fight with enough kiai, and that's how you wound up getting hurt a lot here. どうにも気合が足りんの。それやき大怪我するんじゃ。Versus Yang. I commit myself to training every morning so I could never lose to someone who doesn't commit to their own actions without pause. 毎朝稽古には拳銃機、そんな引き越しには負けんちや。Versus Yun. Someone who can't be on the defensive isn't an opponent I can have a serious battle with. 受け身も取れんようなやつと真剣勝負はできん。Generic number 1. Boring. I want to relax so bad right now. つまんねえ。もっとのびのびやりたいぜ。Generic number 2. Did you feel it right in your core? The rush of a high voltage. どん真ん中に聞いたろ？ハイボルテージな刺激がよ。Generic number 3. I'm not running away. I'm chasing my freedom. 逃げてるんじゃねえ。追いかけてるんだ。自由をよ。Generic number 4. We decide where we go. 俺たちの行く場所は俺たちが決める。Generic number 5. It's not that tough to figure out. The one who wins is the stronger of the two. 理屈じゃねえんだ。勝った方が強いんだよ。Generic number 6. I'm not alone anymore, so I can't afford to pass out in a place like this. こんなところじゃくたばらねえぞ。俺はもう一人じゃないからな。Generic number 7. The reason why you lost was because of the differences in our reach, right? I guess you would have caught onto that after seeing that clear fact. 敗因はリーチの差だろ。それぐらい見て分かれてんだよ。Versus Akuma. Are you also a different type of human like me? あんたもこっち側の人間か。Versus Alex. Acting all righteous doesn't mean squat if you lose in the end. 正統派気取ってもな、負けるや、それまでよ。Versus Chun-Li, you're a dangerous woman. Do me a favor and stop coming closer. 危険な女だ。もう近づくのはよしてくれ。Dudley, we don't need a count for this one, do we, gentlemen? Count はいらないだろ、gentlemen. Versus Elena, the power of the great nature? This came through the fruits of science. 大自然の力だ？こっちは科学の結晶だぜ。Versus Hugo, I'm not doing you any favors, so don't go causing me any trouble. 頼みもしねえのに余計な世話焼くんじゃねえ。Versus Ibuki, you contracting your body doesn't exactly fit you. ちまちますんのは性に合わねえんだよ。Versus Ken, hey, what's up? Come on, get to show me that burning move. どうした？燃えてるとこ見せてくれよ。Versus Makoto, don't you have any moves with a bit more pizzazz? もっとズバッと切れ味のいい技はねえのかよ。Versus Necro, everyone who gets an RA is an enemy. I'll be sure to mark you down especially. 邪魔するやつ全員敵だぜ。てめえも肝に銘じときな。Versus Oro, unfortunately we're not as free as you are this time. あいにく俺たちはあんたほど暇じゃねえんだ。It's Q, we don't care about you, so return the favor and do the same for us. あんたには構わねえ。だからあんたも俺たちに構うな。Versus Remy, are you drunk or something? Wake the hell up! 酔っ払ってるのか？目覚ましやがれ。Ryu, you don't seem to be leading an interesting life. あんまし面白そうな人生じゃねえな、あんた。Versus Sean, we're not getting anywhere talking with you. This isn't one of your high school classes here. 点で話にならねえ。ハイスクールの授業じゃねえんだ。Versus 12, I don't remember having a friggin' brother like you. てめえみたいな弟を思った覚えよね。Versus Urien, too bad. You won't be able to catch me that easily. 残念だったな。そう簡単に捕まりやしねえよ。Versus Yang, kids with such momentum are sure a handful. これだから困るぜ。勢いだけのガキはよ。Versus Yoon, is bluffing a part of growing up? A lot of kids do that for whatever reason. はったりだけは一人前か。ガキには多いんだよな。Narrative number 1. Well, did I perhaps get a tad bit overexcited? こりゃちょっともう過ぎたかの。Narrative number 2. I've gone and done it now. I must have mistaken my limit. ありゃしもった。嫉妬影の間違ったわい。Narrative number 3. I read all of your movements. I read them so far that I'm even gonna have your breakfast tomorrow. 全部読み取るぞ。明日お主が何食うまでの。Narrative number 4. You've only been running away until now, but what do you intend to do after? こんくらいが来るんで、これから先どうするつもりじゃ。 Lyric number 5. Not yet. Train for another 20 years or so and come back. まだまだじゃ。きっと二巡ばかし、忠義をしてこい。してこい。Lyric number 6. Ah, free. He must be free if it's time. Is that what you think? Ah, 暇じゃ。暇じゃ、暇じゃ。そう思うじゃろ。Lyric number 7. Say, when you take some time to have a fine body build like myself and challenge me fiercely, もうきっとこれ何ちゅうかこうぐぐっときてシャンとせんかの。Versus Akuma. Seeing to the furthest reaches ahead is the makings of a true fight. 極めても極めても先の見えんのが格闘じゃよ。Alex, you're attacking the fences all over the place. Your precious muscles must be crying over being wasted like this. 攻めも守りもバラバラじゃ。せっかくの筋肉が大トル。Versus Chun-Li, perhaps you'll take more of an interest in a man aged like fine wine. どちらかというと、わしは年上がタイプなんじゃ。Dudley, it seems that mustache has been becoming popular this year. なんか今年はそのヒゲが流行りそうじゃの。Versus Elena. No need to go out of your way to worry. I am best friends with this abundant nature of our world. わざわざ気にせんでもわしは充実しせんとマブダチじゃ。Versus Hugo. You were severely lacking in speed to the point that I was half asleep, Sonny. あんまりトライで半分眠くなったわい。Versus Ibuki. Aren't I a handsome fellow? Right, right. わし、イケとるじゃろな、な。Versus Ken. How about you entrust your son to me? I'll be sure to make him into a fine hermit. お主の息子、わしに預けんか。立派なセミにしちゃるぞ。Versus Makoto. If I became the honored head of your school, your dojo and everything else with it is bound to swell with profits. わしを名誉師範にすりゃ、道場とやらも大儲けじゃぞ。This is Necro. What's if that stretching of yours? I have enough places as it is to store my own things. 伸びるのがなんじゃ。わしなんかほれ、出し入り自由じゃ。Versus Oro. Oh ho, you look like quite dapper over there, my good sir. Oh ho, 見る彼にあった男じゃの。Versus Q. You. I'm sure I saw you around 25 years ago. お主、確か25年ほど前に見かけたの。Versus Remy. You reads were a pace. 憎まれこ妙にはわかるじゃ。Versus Ryu. If it's now, I can take you on as my disciple for free, alright? 今なら無料で弟子入り OK なんじゃがの。Versus Sean. Unacceptable. The stance needs to be taken when you dunk. It must be focused from your hips. なっとらん。ダンクの構えは腰柄がポイントじゃ。Versus 12. A being which lacks individuality cannot hope to ever see completion. 主体性のないやつは大勢先祖へ。Versus Urien. The little brother is in quite a predicament with an older brother who overshadows him. ひょほ。出来の兄貴がおると弟は大変じゃの。ひょほ。Yang, you won't believe with what you see now, but I was actually quite popular with the ladies when I had long hair back in my heyday. こう見えてもわしは昔ロン毛でもともとやったんじゃよ。Versus Yun, would you look at this? Why wouldn't you be more gentle with an elderly man such as myself? こりゃ老体をもっといとらんかい。 Generic number 1. Generic number 2. Generic number 3. Generic number 4. Generic number 5. Generic number 6. Generic number 7. Versus Akuma. Versus Alex. Versus Chun-Li. Versus Dudley. Versus Elena. Versus Hugo. Versus Ibuki. Versus Ken. Versus Makoto. Versus Necro. Versus Oro. Versus Q. Versus Remy. Versus Ryu. Versus Sean. Versus 12. Versus Urien. Versus Yang. Versus Yoon. Generic number 1. You're still trying to fight? Just get out of my sight, you're an eyesore. まだよろっていうのか。さっさと行け、目障りだ。Generic number 2. Why am I in a place like this? 俺はなぜこんなところにいる？ Generic number 3. I'm not a sadist. I don't take any pleasure in us punching one another. 俺はサディストじゃない。殴り合いに興味はないんだ。Generic number 4. Please, don't get up anymore. 頼む、もう立ち上がるな。Generic number 5. I'm getting these shakes again? また、この震えか。Generic number 6. As long as you guys fight, my pain will never be healed. お前たちが戦う限り、俺の痛みは癒えないんだ。Generic number 7. What is it that motivates you all? There's nothing to be earned on this path. 何がお前たちを駆り立てる？得るものなどないというのに。Akuma, a blasted phantom that's been possessed by the lust of fighting. Go away. 戦いに取り引かれた亡霊め、消えろ。Versus Alex, those streaks of blood from your victims on your body shows the true form of yourself and those of your ilk. その体に浴びた返り血の色がお前たちの正体だ。Versus Chun-Li, my eyes don't deceive me. He actually derives joy from strife. 目は嘘つけないな。争いが好きなんだよ、あんたは。Versus Dudley, do you enjoy hurting people through your prolonged involvement in sports? スポーツの延長で人を傷つけて楽しんでるのか？ Versus Elena, wild nature is barbaric. It's a primordial remnant that should be detested. 野生とは万世、忌むべき原始の名残だ。Versus Hugo, there's nothing past the point of validating your strength. 強さを証明したところで何も残りはしない。Versus Ibuki, don't worry about me, I won't be holding back anymore. 俺に構うな、これ以上手加減はできないぞ。Actually, looking back, he's actually telling Ibuki that she can't hold back anymore, basically. Versus Ken, you put in a cool act, but I know better that your life's been drenched in blood. 涼しい顔をしてても、あんたの人生血回りだぜ。Versus Makoto, don't go wasting any more of your time on pointless stuff. これ以上無意味な時間を過ごさせるな。Versus Necro, a cyborg whose sole purpose was for combat. That is especially an unnecessary existence. 戦闘だけが目的の改造人間。それこそ不要の存在だ。Versus Oro. So this is the end of original fighters, huh? それがファイターの慣れの果てか。Versus Q. I could care less about you. どうでもいいんだよ、あんたのことは。Versus Remy. I could never forgive that man. あの男を俺は決して許せない。Versus Ryu. Talking with fists, you say? Such a notion could only bring forth pain. 拳で語るだとそんなものは痛みしか生まない。Versus Sean. Aiming for city gold would be much better. Don't you think so? それは目標でもあるだけマシだ。結構なことじゃないか。This is 12. Sorry for you, but I don't make it a habit to conversate with puppets. あいにく人魚と話す興味はない。Versus Urien, you're easy enough to understand. Your looks alone paint you as a villain. あんたは分かりやすい。見るからに悪人だからな。Versus Yang, it's good to use your own initiative to protect the town or anything in general. 街でも何でも勝手に守っているがいいさ。Versus Yun, the logic of kids these days. Something must be destroyed if you're going to protect something. 子供の理屈だな。守るためには何かを壊さなきゃならない。Generic number 1. You must find the right time to unleash your special move. 必殺のタイムの計れ。Generic number 2. Grow stronger bit by bit. The rest will follow. 少しずつ強くなっていく。それがいいんだ。Generic number 3. What's wrong? Were you satisfied with that level of attack? どうした？芋の攻めで満足なのか？ Generic number 4. I'm in a tranquil state of mind. I feel no anger nor arrogance. 静かな気持ちだ。怒りもおごりも感じない。Generic number 5. What is long yet feels so short? I'll never tire of those days of training. 長いようで短い。修行の日々ってものは飽きないな。Number 6. Your legs are unstable, which was why your rush was lacking. 軸足がぶらついてるぞ。だから踏み込みが甘いんだ。Generic number 7. You won't even be able to land half of your fist within that range. その前じゃ拳半分と解かない。Versus Akuma, I'll find the answer for myself. 答えは自分で見つけてみせる。 versus Alex. Prove your beliefs with something other than your mouth. 口先だけじゃないことを証明してみせろ。versus Chun-Li. You seem to be in good spirits. The might of your legs sure haven't changed. 元気そうだな。蹴りの威力も相変わらずだ。versus Dudley. It's in that exact moment you duck down where your weak point is exposed. 懐に潜り込む一瞬、それがあんたの弱点だ。versus Elena. You were leg full. I look forward to our next fight. また手数、いや、足数が増えたよな。次の戦いも楽しみだ。versus Hugo. The tenacity of wrestlers is always a troublesome ordeal. レスラーの打たれ強さにはいつも手を焼く。versus Ibuki. Jumping all over the place isn't going to help you if taking away my footing. ただ飛び回るだけじゃ俺の足元は崩せないぞ。versus Ken. Your combos lacked depth. What happened to your usual sharpness? 技のつなぎが甘い。いつものキレはどうした？versus Makoto. Your hits were far too light. Put your whole body into your attacks. まだまだ軽いぞ。一撃に全体重を乗せろ。Q. What a suspicious guy. Don't think he's much of a guy to begin with, though. 怪しい男だ。まあ、人のことは言えないが。versus Necro. You'll never be landing a hit, even if it came from my blind spots. 視覚からの攻めもそうそう何度も食らわんぞ。versus Oro. I walk my own path. Find someone else to be your disciple. では自分の道を行く。弟子取りなら矛をたたってくれ。Remy, your fists won't grow stronger while harboring hatred against others. 人に組んだところで拳は磨かれないぞ。versus Ryu. If you're going to copy me, then at least commit yourself to it wholeheartedly. どうせ真似なら中途半端はよせ。versus Sean. Don't give up so easily after 10 or even 20 failures. 10や20の失敗で簡単に諦めるんじゃない。This is 12. You have me at a loss. I can't get a fix on your emotions at all. あ、言ったな。全く表情が読めない。versus Urien. I could never allow myself to lose against someone whose fists are used to rob others. 奪うのが目的の拳に負けるわけにはいかない。versus Yang. While tactics are important, brushing up on your basics is even more so. 工夫は大事だが、基礎はそれ以上に大事だ。Yun. Focus on forging a sturdy body. That will lead to your moves landing harder. タフな体を作ることだ。技の重みはそこから生まれる。Generic number 1. Alright, I've come up with a new technique. よし、新しい技を思いついた。Generic number 2. Fire! I'm on fire right now, baby! 熱い! 今の俺、熱いぜ! Generic number 3. High might alone doesn't decide a technique being worthy of having the title of a finishing move. That's what my master said. 威力だけじゃ必殺技とは呼ばない。って師匠が言ったかな。Generic number 4. How's that? I finished this one perfectly. どうだ、バッチリ決まったぜ。Generic number 5. I leveled up a few times during this fight. 今のファイトで数段レベルアップしたぜ、俺。For 6. It seems I screwed up with my initial offense and defense. Guess that'll be my homework for next time. 最初の攻防でしくじったか。今後の課題だな。Generic number 7. Alright, my leads are looking even more up. よっしゃ、読みの的中率アップだ。Versus Akuma. Could I have possibly won? No way! ひょっとして俺勝った？マジに？ Versus Alex. Wrestling moves are easy enough. I research them every week on TV. プロレス技なんてちょろいぜ。毎週 TV で研究してるしな。Versus Chun-Li. I've heard about your feat from Master Ken. It was an honor to fight you. 活躍はケン師匠から聞いてました。戦えて光栄です。Versus Dudley. Your punches were incredibly fast. I could only dodge them on pure instinct alone. めっちゃ速のパンチっすね。勘で避けるしかないっすよ。Versus Elena. Damn it, I hate how you're just smiling there. Aren't you the one who's getting hit? くっそニコニコしやがって。殴り抜くんじゃないかよ。Versus Hugo. So what if you're huge? I'm an unpolished diamond in the rough. ないのがなんだ。俺はみかんの大気ってやつさ。Versus Ibuki. Where in the world are you hiding those blades? あんた一体どこにその刃物を隠し持ってんだ。Versus Ken. お疲れ様。I'm looking forward to the next time we can fight. お疲れ様っす。またよろしくお願いします。Versus Makoto. So, can you do that? You know, breaking 30 roof tiles with your forehead? 相手あれできるのか？瓦30枚額で割るやつ。Versus Necro. My burning passion can't be stopped by anyone. Natsu spirits. 誰にも止められるもんか。Versus Oro. Is it no good for you to pick me up while I'm already a disciple belonging to someone else? I want to learn those strange moves you have. おかきもちってのはダメですか？俺も変な術習いたいっす。Versus Q. Are you one of the members of that top secret organization I've been hearing about the place recently? あんたって最近よく聞く秘密組織とかの構成員じゃないのか？Versus Remy. We men aren't valued for what we look like. It's about our hearts and strength. 男はな、外見じゃないんだ。心と腕っぷしなんだよ。Versus Ryu. You won't believe how overjoyed I am for winning against you right now. 今はもう勝った嬉しさで目いっぱいっす。Versus Sean. I've still got a ways to go with my training. まだまだ修行が足りないぜ。Versus 12. Is there some other reason apart from supposedly keeping law and order as to why you guys are up and about? こういうのがうろうろしてるのは知らぬ上どうなんだ？ Versus Urien. I can't take it. If only I had a blindfold at hand right now. 俺、ダメなんだ。そういう濃いめのマスクはどうにも。Versus Yang. I was able to overcome your style thanks to my own experience of practicing fake kung fu. 偽カンフーのメッキもすっかり剥がれちまったな。Versus Yun. Isn't that surprising, you know? This is the peak of America and the world. そんなに驚くことはないだろ？これがアメリカ、世界の壁ってやつだ。 Generic number 1, K-I-L-L, kill. Generic number 2, E-Z-J-O-B, easy jump. Generic number 3, F-I-N-I-S-H, finish. Generic number 4, K-O, knockout. Generic number 5, W-H-A-T, question mark, what? Generic number 6, T-H-E-E-N-D, the end. Generic number 7, T-W-E-L-B-E, 12. Versus Akuma, F-E-A-R, fair. Versus Alex, W-E-A-K, weak. Versus Chun-Li, S-L-O-W, slow. Versus Dudley, G-E-N-T-L-E, gentle. Versus Elena, D-O-N-E, done. Versus Hugo, S-T-R-I-K-E, strike. Versus Ibuki, B-Y-E, bye. Versus Ken, C-H-E-A-P, cheap. Versus Makoto, A-G-A-I-N, again. Versus Necro, G-O-H-E-L-L, go hell. Versus Oro, X-D-A-Y, X-Day. Versus Q, N-E-V-E-R, never. Versus Remy, S-A-L-Y, slay. Versus Ryu, F-R-A-I-L, thrill. Versus Sean, D-A-M-N, damn. Versus 12, M-E, me. Versus Urien, D-A-D, dad. Versus Yang, L-O-S-E-R, loser. Versus Yun, P-O-O-R, poor. Generic number 1, how long are you going to be groveling at my feet? Get out of my sight! で這いつくばっている。世の目線から失せよ。Generic number 2, the weak should act as they were born to be, and that's to follow the absolute being known as I. 弱者は弱者らしく、絶対の存在であるように従うがいい。Generic number 3, leave this place at once, otherwise I shall deliver unto you regret and death. の地よりされ、さもなくば開墾と死を与える。Generic number 4, the idiocy of the masses, for one such as this to not know of the true ruler being in their presence. その愚かさよ、真の統率者を前に控えぬとは。Generic number 5, the greatest joy in this world will be to follow the absolute strongest. There's not a single reason why you should refuse this blessing. 絶対教書に使えるという私服、拒む理由はあるまい。Generic number 6, get your wretched hands off me, you're dirty in me. 誰以上触れるな、汚れるわ。Generic number 7, you must be conquered. You piglets only continue to draw breath for your own greedy ends. 批判されねばならん。ただ欲望のみに生きる豚どもよ。Versus Akuma, fine, I shall give you the privilege of groveling before my knees. いいだろう、世の引き元に屈する権利を与える。Versus Alex, do you still fail to understand my absolute superiority? 未だ理解せぬか。我が絶対の優勢。Versus Chun-Li, look into my eyes. They will reflect your final moments. 瞳を見よ。貴様の最後が映っておろう。Versus Dudley, before I, the most prestigious of all of the other nobles of the world will bow in my presence. 大きなる世の前ではいかなる王族貴族どももひざもつかねばならん。 That line was so hard to do. Versus Elena, the victor is delighted, and the defeated must fulfill the role of being in torment. 勝者は喜び、敗者は悔いねばならん. Versus Hugo, what would a circus freak know about my grand plans? Make yourself scarce. 特製の見せ物どもに何がわかる? さっさと消えよ. Versus Ibuki, have no fear. I don't discriminate in the face of who I conquer. 案ずるな、老若男女の隔てなく支配する. Versus Ken, feast your eyes on this. This is the divine body of a true king. とくと見よ、これぞ王者の身体なり. Versus Makoto, those of your generation have no tomorrow of your own. I will be in charge of where your future goes. 貴様に勝手な明日はない. 未来はすべて世が管理する. Versus Necro, I smell the genes of that man on you. It's unpleasant. 男の遺伝子の匂いがする. 不愉快だ. Versus Oro, accumulating the years of idleness you have is already a grave enough cardinal sin. 不意な年月を重ねるはもはや重罪である. Versus Q, I could give the faintest interest about finding out your identity. 貴様の正体など知りあくたほどにも興味なし. Versus Remy, hatred, that's especially the source that turns a man into a god. 憎だ. 憎こそが人を神たらしめる源なのだ. Versus Ryu, my strength is absolute. Ordinary people like yourselves will never attain such strength. 強さこそが究極. 貴様ら常人にはたどり着けぬ. Versus Sean, you despise me? It matters not to me. It will only take a hand to dispose of you. 世に組むか構わんぞ. 片手でひねりつぶすだけだ. Versus 12, what are you doing? Carry out my orders at once. 何をしてるか? 己の使命を全うせよ. Versus Urien, one of the gravest of sins for one to commit is to imitate God. In other words, I. 最も重き罪の一つ、それは神、世を語ることだ. Versus Yang, I'll give you 5 seconds to quickly retreat from God's presence. 帯を与える、速やかに神の御前より引け. Versus Yun, foolishness, what an insolent worm you are for opposing God. 無謀、神に背く愚かな虫よ. Generic number 1, what a waste. You've been too sloppy with your training. もったいないな。鍛え方が大雑把すぎる. Generic number 2, utilizing my back is my specialty. It seems you're too careless. 最後は俺のテロトリーだ. うかつすぎたようだな. Generic number 3, not taking the time to do any precise plans won't bring forth anything definite to implement. 厳密な理論なくして確実な実践はありえないよ. Generic number 4, being serious is different from snapping and getting enraged. 本気を出すっていうのは切れて逆上するのとは違うんだ. Generic number 5, I predicted everything that would have happened here after the first 4 or 5 moves. 最初の4、5手で全部先まで予測がついた. Generic number 6, calling what we consider a fight would only dilute Chinese history to such a shallow point. それを戦いなんて呼ばれたら中学の歴史が薄っぱらくなる。Narrative number 7. Rough fighting like my brother isn't a specialty of mine, but well, whatever. 兄貴のようなラフファイトは得意じゃないんだが、まあいいか。Versus Akuma. Speaking of monsters, they should have a weak point on them. 煙にだってスケール付きはあったってことだな。Versus Alex. Your tactics and senses are put into question. Can't you see that for yourself here? 戦術もセンスが問われるんだ。今ので分かっただろ。Versus Chun-Li. I thank you for teaching me an incredibly valuable lesson. 礼を言うよ。すごくいい勉強になった。Versus Dudley. Your barrages were swift. That's about it for compliments. 早い連打だ。だけど、それだけだな。Versus Elena. This is what happens in a fight, so don't start hating me now. 勝負の結果なんだから、あんまり憎まれないでくれよな。Versus Hugo. I've grown tired of having to stare up at you, so you can just lay on down now. I guess ですけれども、疲れたよ。そろそろ倒れてくれ。Versus Ibuki. There are some interesting taijutsu you had there, but only one of those moves were practical in a real fight. 面白いタイジュツだったよ。実践能力は今一つだけどね。Versus Ken. The man of flames, huh? Did you just burn out right now? 煩悩の男か。燃え尽きる直線だったのかい？ Versus Makoto, your range of tools expand depending on the number of your tactics. This is one of the good points to use in Chinese Kenpo. 工夫次第で使い勝手が上がる。これが中国拳法のいいところさ。Versus Necro, if you keep on stretching out your body that much, I feel that you're only going to leave yourself full of blind spots. そんなに伸ばしっぱなしじゃ全方位視覚って感じだぜ。Versus Oro, you betrayed my expectations. There's nothing for me to learn from you. 見込み違いだな。あんたに教わることは何もない。Versus Q, you are human, right? 人間だよな。Versus Remy. Calm down, you're the one who's losing their cool. 気つきなよ。伸ばせてるのはあんたの方だ。Versus Ryu. As expected from the man I heard about in rumors, you were quite a handful for me to even get the slightest of reads on. さすが噂の男だ。なかなか読みが当たらなかったよ。Versus Sean. It would be shameful for you to retreat now. I can see the differences of the strengths at play here. まあ引くのは恥じゃない。俺ならこの実力を認めるね。Versus 12. When it comes to tricky attacks, I'm actually more than confident in dishing them out. トリッキーな攻めならむしろこっちの得意技だよ。Versus Urien. Guys who call themselves the strongest never prove themselves worthy of said title. 自分が最強だなんていうやつが強かった魂はない。Versus Yang. One attack alone can be the deciding factor in showing the mightiest fighter present in a fight. 対一撃が決定的な実力の差だってこともある。Versus Yoon. Fists that fail to evolve have no future, big brother. 進化しない拳には文字通り未来がないんだぜ、兄貴。Generic number 1, a clean hit. Clean hit だな。 Generic number 2. I'm trying to protect the town right now. I don't have the time to be lost around here. 街に突し来ろうってんだ。こんなところで孫ついちゃいられない。Generic number 3. You look strong, but boy was I wrong. I've yet to ascertain a good pair of judging eyes. 予想だと思ったんだけど、俺はまだ見る目がないな。Generic number 4. If you're having a hard time, just lay down pronto. It's not good for your health otherwise. 苦しかったら早めにダウンしな。健康に悪いぜ。Generic number 5. This ain't good. My eyes are racing away here. ダメだな、目が死んでたぜ。Generic number 6. What have you been doing up to now? None of your hits are even landing. さっきから何やってんだ？全然当たらねえぜ。Generic number 7. You said you don't know why you lost. It was due to your foolishness which led you to even ask me that very same question. 歌理由が知りたいだって。それを俺に聞く愚かさのことだよ。Versus Akuma. I was actually surprised. Before the fight even began, it felt as if I already had the win in the bag. 正直ビビってたよ。やる前、なんとか勝てたみたいだな。Versus Alex. I'm scornful of your mighty blows. I somehow paid you back in full, though. 一発の威力を侮ってたぜ。なんとか返せたけどな。Versus Chun-Li. How about we drink some tea? We can get back to fighting again after we're done. これからイントロしない？その後もう一回勝負ってことでさ。Versus Dudley. You come off as a well-to-do little master. Come at me with a fiercer style. お坊ちゃんって感じだな。もっと荒っぽくいこうぜ。Versus Elena. You're the one who said let's have fun, and here you are kicking me around with everything you've got. 肝って言った割には思いっきり蹴ってくるよな。Versus Hugo. We're not underwater here, so move with some actual speed. 口の中じゃあるまいし、もっとテキパキ動きなよ。Versus Ibuki. Why don't you try becoming a gymnast to make use of your talents? いっそ対戦選手にでもなったらどうだい？ Versus Ken. I think it's about time you called it quits. You having trouble breathing over there? そろそろ現役引退しなよ。息が上がってるぜ。Versus Makoto. Don't go making such a scary face at me. This is just how things have to be. 怖い顔すんな。これがルールなんだからよ。This is Necro. While that was all well and good for my blood flow, you can stop it now with the electric attacks. ここは良くなりそうだけど、もう電撃はごめんだ。Versus Oro. Oh man, I don't want to grow old, especially as old as you. 年は取りたくないな。特にあんたみたくは。Versus Q. I was trying to warn you, but it looks like you're about to get arrested. 告しといてやるけど、あんたそのうち捕まるぞ。Versus Remy. If fighting makes someone a sinner, what does that make you? 戦うのが罪って言うなら、あんたはどうなんだ？ Versus Ryu. You're crazy strong as expected. You caught me off guard more than enough times. さすがにバカ強いな。不意をつくのか精一杯だぜ。Versus Sean. I'll end it with this final blow. Wait, don't just fall over before I got to show off my goods, dude. さあ一発で決める。っておい、見せ場の前に倒れるようなよ。Versus 12. An opponent like this who's hard to get read on is the most troublesome to deal with. こういう意思疎通の難しい相手が一番厄介なんだよ。Versus Urien. You're without a doubt not as majestic as any Greek sculpture I've seen. ギリシャ彫刻ほどには美しくはないな。 Versus Yang. I said you were 100 years too early to beat me. Don't you remember me telling you the same thing yesterday? に勝つのは100年早いって昨日も言ったろ Versus Yun. Looking at myself objectively, I may actually come off as lame. こうして客観的に見ると俺ってダサいかも。Generic number 8. There's nothing that can contest with my fist. Waga kokushi ni kana waza nashi. Versus Gill. I have no fixation for governance. Surigoto ni kyoumi nashi. Generic number 8. You overestimate your own capabilities. Anta, jibun no jitsuryoku o kadai hyouka shisugi da. Versus Gill. I'm not good at making speeches, so I can't become a god. 残念ながら俺は演説は上手くない。神様にはならないな。Generic number 8. It's too bad for you that I'm more than happy to be active again. あいにくさま、幻薬もいいところなの、あたし。Versus Gill. You brandish your power to oppress the weak. You rulers are all the same. 力をかざして弱者を虐げる。支配者っていうのはみんな一緒ね。Next number 8. Ever so the gentleman to the end. That is the motto I uphold. あくまで紳士的にそれが私のモットーだ。Versus Gill. I'm not one to judge the values of others, but I do wonder about the current state you're in. 他人の価値観に文句をつける気はない。しかし、その姿はどうかな。Generic number 8. People meeting with one another is such an amazing thing. このいいところで会えて本当に素晴らしいわ。Versus Gill. Were you born like that? What beautiful red and blue skin. それって生まれた時からそうなの？綺麗な赤と青ね。Generic number 8. It's time for you to interpose. Surely you're also tired. もう休めたまえ。君も疲れただろ？Versus Gill. I must hasten my plans if I am to also rid of irregularities like these. こういったイレギュラーを消すためにも計画は早めねばな。Generic number 8. You won't be beating me by just running away. 憎もあってばかりじゃ俺は倒さないぜ。Versus Gill. You'll be known as Mr. Two-Tone from today. I'll be putting you to work in the opening match. 今日からお前は Mr. Two-Tone だ。前座でこき使ってやる。Nerf number 8. This isn't even killing time. I guess effort's needed on your part. 退屈しのぎにもなんないよ。要努力ってことかな。Versus Gill. About the other files, I won't be needing them again. I just can't read them and they're just plain heavy. これのファイルだけど、やっぱいらない。読めないし重いから。Generic number 8. Jumping in on me randomly isn't bravery. It's called being reckless. むやみに飛び込むのは勇気じゃなく無謀って言うんだぜ。Versus Gill. A child would think of longing for world domination, but an adult who does the same is a complete idiot. 子供なら憧れるよな。世界征服ってのは。でもいい大人がやるのはバカだぜ。Generic number 8. I won't let you get away with underestimating me. なめたらいかんぜよ。Versus Gill. You don't look anything like the gods back home. 昨日シチュー神さんと似ても似つかんの御社。Generic number 8. I'll short circuit your brain. 脳髄ショートさせてやる。Versus Gill. I won't tell you to return me to normal at this point, but I'll be sure to get some payback on you. 今さら元に戻すなんて言わないが、彼はたっぷり返させてもらおうぜ。Generic number 8. What's this? Your movements lack anything of interest. なんじゃの面白みのない動きじゃの versus Gill. Most of you fellows who claim to be gods turn out to be anything but. 大体自分で神様を名乗るやつに大したものはおらんのじゃ。Generic number 8. Victory, honor, fame. I'm fed up of them all. 勝利、栄光、名誉。どれもこれもうんざりだ。Versus Gill. You're telling me to accept hatred? I won't listen to any more of this nonsense from those who spread hate. 憎しみを認め、受け入れろだと、頑強どものたわごとなど聞かん。Generic number 8. Look forward. You won't win by averting your gaze. まっすぐ前を見ろ。目をそらしてじゃ勝てないぞ。Versus Gill. Your strength was brazen in terms of being godly, but you should know there are even more out there in the world who are as strong and even stronger. 神の名に恥じぬ強さだった。だが、まだまだ強者はいるぞ。Generic number 8. Whoa, I'm turning into a fighting machine. Whoa, fighting machine と数ぜ。Versus Gill. Holy crap, did I just beat God? やべえ。俺、神様ぶっ倒しちまったのか。Generic number 8. I am your master. Carve this fact into your DNA. Versus Gill. How does it feel to have your perfect plan or whatever it was upheaved from the root up? どうだ完璧な計画とやらが根本から崩れた感想は Generic number 8. I hate quarrels, so I'll just put an end to this quickly. 揉め事は嫌いなんでね。さっさと固くつけさせてもらった。Versus Gill. Nothing ever goes as planned. The same goes for you as well, even if you were God. でも思い通りにはいかない。たとえあんたが本当に神だとしてもだ。Generic number 8. I can't even stop myself once I've gotten heated up. Sorry. 熱くなっちまったら自分でも止められないんだ。悪い。Versus Gill. You do realize you're not too far off from those everyday people who go out streaking, right? 自分が凡人でストリーキング以下だって思い知ったかい？And that is the end of the video. If you liked the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. The usual YouTuber grifter kind of stuff. And I put a lot of effort into the video, and hopefully it shows. Maybe not the bonus content, I would say, but everything else I feel like I did put a lot of effort into, generally speaking. Anyhow, until next time, I'll catch you guys around. Farewell and goodbye. 日本語が理解できる視聴者さんたちには、見てくれてありがとうございました。久しぶりにこういう風に日本語を話したから、最初はちょっと恥ずかしかったけど、でもなかなか楽しかった結局。それじゃあ、こういうビデオを見る方には、ぜひメッセージを送ってくださいね。はい、それではまた今度。